Tell us what you know at the moment and what your gravest fears are.
Well, thank you, Chris. What we know is that the submarine's missing. We don't know that it's sunk. We know that it's operating in waters that are 600 to 700 metres deep. All of those are concerns. We know that the submarine is about 40 years old, that it's been recently refitted. Well, recently it was refitted in 2012 in South Korea, the same nation that's building their next generation submarines, the first 3 of which have already been delivered. So that 9 years is quite a long period of time since a refit. And we know that they had 53 people on board as opposed to their normal 34, which means that the conditions on board will be quite crowded and cramped. We also know that the submarine is not fitted with a rescue seat, which is a flat seat, a circular seat around the escape hatch, which allows a rescue vehicle to mate with it. This submarine wasn't built with it, so their method of getting out of a submarine in a problem is to get to the surface and abandon the ship, or to be able to rest on the seabed in 180 metres or less of water.
All right, now this is an Indonesian Navy submarine that would have been on a routine patrol. Is that our understanding? And just on that rescue, you're saying 600 or 700 metres of water, but you're saying that if it's resting on the bottom at a depth of over 180 metres, there's no technology that would be able to retrieve it?
No, there isn't. This is one of the reasons that submarines have rescue seats, so that they have options beyond the normal self-escape, and which can be affected by basically every submarine in the world. The rescue seat is, however, it wasn't part of the philosophy of the Germans when they designed this submarine, and they've only recently, in response to other customers, started fitting their submarines with rescue seats.
Now, it just sounds like such a horrific scenario, and it's one that, of course, all submariners would dread. What about the location? The first thing, of course, will be to locate the vessel. Is there sonar equipment and the like that it can actually get to effective depths to try and find it, or are you relying on something else?
No, they'd be relying on sonar. The submarine may well have a pinger that can be activated. I don't know what that's the case, but many submarines do have. If they're able to, they also usually have some ejectors. They can send some signals to the surface to mark their position. The fact that those haven't happened yet is of concern. The Indonesian Navy would have mobilised many of its ships, or if not all of its ships, particularly those with assets like sonars that can search the waters for objects that are not wrecks and find the things on the seabed.
Now, what equipment could Australia usefully bring to this search? Would any of our submarines be involved? And of course, in that region also, we'd have to see whether the Americans could have the technology that might help.
Okay, so Australia can provide expertise, and it can provide. It has a flyaway rescue system, so the rescue vehicle isn't relevant in this case, but it does have a remotely operated vehicle. It also has flyaway hyperbaric chambers that, if people do get to the surface and they are suffering from decompression sickness, then they can be treated in hyperbaric chambers. That's the same equipment that is available on board the MV Swift Rescue from the Singapore Navy, which has been asked to support this operation as well. So she's steaming already on her way. As far as the Americans are concerned, they have various assets similar to what Australia and Singapore have. They would have been consulted. They would have been part of the information being shared through the International Submarine Escape and Rescue Liaison Office, which is a multinational office headquartered in Norfolk, Virginia. And whenever there's an incident like this, all of the navies in the world who have submarines contribute to the extent they can. They set up a secure chat and they share information before they have to do the formal diplomatic stuff.
Frank, if it's disabled or stuck underwater, how long do those 53 submariners have?
Nominally, the standard amongst the world submarines is that they should seek to have 7 days of emergency stores on board to sustain life. I've heard reports from the Chief of Navy's press conference that was held this afternoon in Jakarta, or in Indonesia at least. I'm not sure where in Indonesia he held it. It may have been in Bali. That they have enough supplies to last at least till Saturday.
It is a very, very worrying situation.